Today, we're going to be changing the accumulators for the 720. This particular vehicle, the accumulators have not been changed. Only one shock has been changed previously on the car, and along with the shock, it came with a new accumulator, but the other three have not been changed. And just given the amount of miles, which is very low, but just the amount of time that has gone past, I already feel that the difference between comfort mode and track mode, it's still noticeable, but the comfort mode definitely should be a lot more, a lot softer and compliant than it ought to be. And so let's take a look. And when we remove the old accumulators, let's see what their conditions are. But the accumulators are considered a wear and tear part. So just like any accumulators in a hydraulic system, partially charged with air up top, and on the bottom it's exposed to the hydraulic fluid, and as the suspension, the shock, which is oil filled, moves up and down, the oil should hit the kind of the bottom part of the accumulator and goes against the charge pressure to really absorb the shocks that come with the undulations. Okay, so to jack up the 720, there are three indicators. There's three green dots underneath the chassis. Okay, and one is right here, right beneath the where the door closes, and I'll show that next on the other side. But essentially, there's a green dot for jacking it up, NASCAR style. Okay, that's for the actual jack. Okay, so this is still where the the door meets and closes right here. So there's a big green patch, right, with a plastic cover or base. That's where you jack. That's right approximately the middle of the car. The whole car goes up. So in the front, green dot here, right after the front tire. And in the back, it's a sticker. It's been used before. That's why I worn away, but it's right here. Okay, so with the front wheel off, you can already see that the accumulators are right on top, right here. Okay, this is the accumulator right on top of the shocks. So we're going to remove the back half of the wheel line. So one tip, so definitely helps to have one of this, because there is, where is it? Right in here, so if I can see it. There's this one screw. Okay. And with a long screwdriver, it's kind of hard to reach, so it would just use this, right, to get in here. Again, it's just, or if you have a short screwdriver, that's fine. And then up top, there are a couple of clips, plastic clips, literally two. Pry it out kind of with a screwdriver a little bit. So total, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Those with the plastic O-rings is actually, or the washers, is actually 2. So 6 T30s, and 2 right up at the top. The plastic. So use an offset 19 millimeter, and then go from here until you kind of feel out the top of the accumulator, and then you would undo it. Okay, so use an offset. So confirmed, absolutely zero pressure in the system. I've already undid it. Oh, some hydraulic fluid, clean it up, but nope, zero pressure in the system. Spent the last 10 minutes wondering, how do I get the accumulator out because it's blocked by this bracket? And And when I looked at the videos online, like, I don't see the bracket. They were able to basically remove it out. And I was like, what is this added bracket? Is it something new? Is it something different than a different model? And because I wasn't able to get this out, and after thinking a while, just dawned on me, I haven't tried this, but since I had to open the door to access that initial fender liner screw, I'm guessing, okay, this is just opening the frunk. This is just the hinge to the front. See if that's the case. Huh. Yes. There you go. Okay. So makes it a lot easier. Huh. So next time on the other side, I'm going to definitely open the front first. So here we go. Right out. And this is it. Very little hydraulic fluid came out. This is the accumulator. Original one. Let's see. Let's test it. Oh my. Definitely bad. Look at this, all the way down to the bottom. Diaphragm's gone. Let's look at a new one. Got this from Thorny Motorsports. Tom, who's a shop foreman at Thorny, they just had a set come in. The stock was up and down, they said, but absolutely wonderful and very cordial transaction. Shot an email to them immediately when they opened in UK time. They emailed me back and saying that they had one extra set and FedEx it to me. So there's a new one. All right, these are not the 765 ones. These are just the regular Tenco ones, but they are the OEM ones. Now let's see what the difference is. Because they really go bad this poorly. Okay, this new one with the red diaphragm. This one you can't even see the diaphragm anymore. Let's take a look what the difference is. So this is where the old one stops. Look at that. This is the new one. So that's why. Bumpy ride. And a couple of suspension faults that go away upon immediate restart, but that's why. So replacement, after figuring out I just need to open the front, give you so much room to work with. This new one, simply put it with some hydraulic fluid, which actually I haven't. So let me borrow some, right, from the ones that leaked from the old accumulator. Glue up the O-ring a little bit. And then simply screw on. The threads. Yeah. Now, as you can see, this is the original style accumulators, and barely actually had room to before it hits the bracket and then to start engaging the screw. So with the 76.5 style, which is a lot taller, definitely need to undo the shocks, move it down, right? So it moves this down in order then to install the accumulator in. And in addition to a little bit more labor, also have to have access to flash the suspension module, because I think the pressure, right, inside the 765 style is different. It's a piston style. So the shocks, the calibration has to be updated to account for, assuming the higher pressure and the stiffer accumulator. But very easy. Screw it in. Okay. And tight. Okay, where am I? All right. There we go. Let's tighten it a little bit. That's good. And now we move on to the rear accumulators. The accumulator Right, it sits on top of here. It's possible without removing this rear one, even or undoing the intake elbow. It's possible to do it. So just the front's needed. Again, I was able to get it in, right, without removing the front of the rear liner or the intake elbow, and then just screw in. Not a problem. And tight. And then get my offset in there. And now we replenish the hydraulic fluid that was lost when replacing the old accumulators. Kept pouring it. It kept taking the fluid, and the level stayed the same. So about maybe a quarter of a bottle.